Let's break down how I built a seven-figure business using a subscription business model. This is something I've been busy on for the last 2 years, 2023, 2024. We started in 2023 in April, and the first 100 customers that were subscribed, we didn't even charge any money for it. It was totally free. Eventually, we started charging $20 a month, and then we upped that to $40 a month. And eventually, that subscription grew to just over 4,500 subscribers, so around 4,700 something, I think. At one point, it was earning 200 something thousand US per month, which is a seven-figure business. And I just wanted to break down how I went about doing that, what the business model looked like, how I went promoting it, and blah, blah, blah. So that if you're planning to, if you are in business, you might consider putting a subscription model into your existing business. But also, if you already have a subscription model that you're struggling to grow, you might get something useful out of this video as well. So what kind of subscription model was I employing? Well, first of all, I happen to have a passion and have skills in the world of crypto. So I am pretty good at forecasting Bitcoin. And what I found was a lot of my subscribers on social media, right? They wanted updates that were a lot more up to date, live as it was happening. And I couldn't do that by delivering it through video content like I am right now, because it takes time to record the video, edit the video, post the video, blah, 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 blah. By the time it's published, the thing that I'm talking about has already gone by, right? So there was a natural need for me to create some kind of Telegram community where I give live updates, forecasts, and so forth, because that's the one question that pretty much anyone in Bitcoin or crypto wants to know. What's happening tomorrow? What's happening today? It's a question that never ends. So that was the opportunity that I spotted. And then I went, okay, so how do we actually grow this into something that that is actually worth something? Initially, I did it for free, and it was actually by at the beginnings, it was actually my employee. My employee was like, Brian, you already do forecasting for your own money anyway. You already do your own analysis. You already trade your own money. Why don't you just share it with people? I'm like, why would I do that? I didn't really see the need for it because at that time I was busy doing my own thing with my own crypto money. I was also doing webinars and doing other types of businesses at the same time. So I was already really, really busy. But I thought, yeah, okay, why not? I'm going to analyze these charts anyway. I may as well just take a screenshot, share it, and give my thoughts on a day-to-day basis. And what I found was by doing that, not only was it helping other people get more clarity on what crypto was going to do next, it was also like a journal for myself, because I could see what I was doing in the history of what I was posting. And FYI, if you're going to ask me how do I get into this community, I don't open this to the English markets because the laws are slightly different. I don't have financial advice licenses and stuff, so big fat disclaimer. Not financial advice, but we're talking about the business aspect of this, okay? So how did I actually go about doing it? The first 100 members were just people that were already customers in different businesses, and I just did a survey, who's interested to join a community where I give you insights on crypto, and they're like, yep, count me in. So I put these 100 people in. Now, why did I put the first 100 people in for free? Well, because first of all, I didn't have a desire to monetize just yet. It just wasn't in my mind. And the second thing is, I knew that if I was going to monetize on it eventually, I needed an initial group of successful students, successful people. So the first 100 were people that, I just did an email, got them into the community, and it was all free. And we went on like that from April to about, I think it was around July or thereabouts of 2023. And then I was like, yeah, okay, so this group's starting to grow. It went from 100 to 200. I was like, okay, I think we should start to charge something. So we tested with $20 a month. And the feedback we got from people that were joining in were like, they perceived that it was way too cheap for what they got. The regular live calls we were doing, the signals we were giving, and they were accurate signals, by the way. They were really enjoying it and felt it was a bargain. So, okay, maybe we should up the price a little bit and see if it changes anything with our statistics. And what we found is it didn't change anything. More people kept coming in, and it wasn't affecting anything. So doubling from $20 a month to $40 a month had zero effect on people hesitating to join. People just joined anyway. Okay, so I think that's a sweet spot. Now, in terms of how we promoted this, because I was operating in the world of crypto, I couldn't use paid advertising. Now, paid advertising is a strategy I've been using for many different businesses that I did before, right? But crypto is not one of those things that you can advertise on Google Ads, Meta, blah, blah, blah. So we didn't use any paid advertising. It was purely on social media alone, okay? Now, mind you, we had the good fortune of already having a decent subscription base. As in following, pardon me. We already had, I think at the time, around 15,000 subscribers on YouTube, something like 50,000 followers on TikTok. So it wasn't starting from absolute zero, but you know, we did use social media as the main driving force to building this community up. How did we do that? Well, what I realized is that if I kept putting out content that talked about why crypto is the thing you should join into and start looking at owning some Bitcoin and blah, 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 blah. Those sorts of topics didn't really appeal to a mass audience at that time. So it was kind of like a paradox. You want content that appeals to a large group of people so that your videos reach a lot of people, but you can't, if you make it like funny cat videos, for example, that appeals to a lot of people, but you can't monetize that because it's just entertainment with no closing or anything related to the thing you're monetizing on, right? So that's on one side of the scale. On the other side of the scale, if you make it too specific and talk directly to the audience, hey, you should be buying Bitcoin, hey, you should have an advantage, have an edge on the markets and know when to get in, when to get out. And you can do that by just copying what I'm doing, right? And so you should join, right? If I did it like that, then it wouldn't appeal to a mass audience. So what we did was we treated it not as every video was its own video, but we treated it as a journey where video 1 would talk about topic A, video 2 would talk about topic B, C, D, E, and so forth. And if you watched it in sequence, it would become a journey where the initial videos, the first 1, 2, 3 videos, they're designed to reach a large group of people, entertain them, and relate with them. Build that trust and connection to a large group of people. So it was things talking about lifestyle, it was things talking about money in general, it was things talking about building up business, it was things talking about how life changes once you reach a level of success that most people can't achieve, right? Things that are based on, things that are relatable. And those types of videos would generate hundreds of thousands of views on TikTok. Eventually, some would hit millions. And no sales came out of it. No new subscriptions, no new customers, okay? But what we did get was an audience, attention, and a connection, relationship, such that when we did post the 4th, 5th, 6th videos that did talk about, hey, this is what we're doing in the community, this is how we're adding value and how it's advantageous for you to be in the community, those videos converted like crazy. Now, we went on most of 2023 at around 400, 500, 600 people. It got to its first 1,000 members mid-2024, so it wasn't actually that quick. But around about July, August, September, that's when we started seeing serious growth in our subscription from 1,000 to 2,000. And at the peak of it, during October, November, December 2024, we were literally adding 500 new customers every single week at one point, right? And it was just insane, something that I didn't think would happen that quickly, but it did. That all came down to a combination of factors, the goodwill that we had built up for a long period of time, you know. And by the way, mind you, even at just 1,000 customers, 1,000 at $40 a month, that's 40,000 a month, FYI. So just something to think about. But anyways, the hockey stick movement from just 1,000 to then quickly going to 4,500, that was a combination of a lot of goodwill that we had built up and also good timing. It was right at the time when crypto was doing its frenzy, Bitcoin was doubling, a lot of meme coins and altcoins were doing its thing. And so we had this nice hockey movement up. Now, that's how my journey looked building a subscription business model into 7 figures. But that being said, what sort of things would I do differently? I don't think I personally was optimizing for the stuff beyond the subscription. In hindsight, I could have probably added a few more different cross products, so different offerings, high ticket stuff even, to add to the ecosystem of products. I didn't do that. So that's something that I think could have been optimized. But it's one of those things that, you know, you take business step by step. You don't try to think too much about all the opportunities that could have been. You think about, what am I building right now and how can I reiterate on this? How can I improve on this for the next generation of growth, of business, okay? And so at this stage in 2025, yes, we're looking at, on the Indonesian side, expanding that community's ecosystem of what's included in it, what things you can get to access and so forth. And then for the people that want to get even closer, allowing access to actually access me directly and the people that are in this elite class. Okay, so those are the things that I'm personally improving onto it as we speak. But I hope by sharing exactly what I did to build that 7-figure business, it adds some insight to what you might do for your own subscription model. That being said, let me know in the comments, did I communicate all these points in a way that was useful to you? Was there anything you picked out of it? And is there anything you'd like me to expand on? Let me know. And yeah, I'm happy to share whatever is needed so that you can be successful. All right, so see you next time, and hope you find your own success in whichever way you choose. Maybe it's subscriptions. All right, see you next time.